This is going to be kind of a shorter video. Not really much of a Halloween special. I just wanted to, something out. The actual Halloween special, I would tell you when it's coming out, but I don't really want to ruin the surprise. I'm going to do this all in one take, unless, there's some serious interference. I'm rambling by this point. I've written down some notes, so let's begin. All right, first off, I forgot. Screw it. I said it was only one take. This is what you're getting. So these are my first impressions on Doom 3 BFG Edition. I recently bought it just last week. I've gotten through level 4, I think. I believe it's like the Alpha Labs or something. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'll get into exactly why later, since it's not exactly intended, but yeah. Anyway, first off, I've already seen a review. The review was made by YouTuber That Trav Guy. I know, like the final boss and some of most of the plot points and such. And also I should do Close My Eyes with the Lost Souls and such, so yeah. Alright, second of all, great main theme, actually. The main theme is, if I'm not mistaken, I think, like, the only heavy metal song I enjoy that isn't made by Mick Gordon, who's the, audio and music composer for the newer Doom games. Alright, now for why I really enjoyed it. It fails at being a horror, which, I'm not really much of a fan of horror. I'm a cryberry. I'm a crybaby who could barely get through Monster House, who couldn't even get through Monster House when I was little. Yeah, there, I'm losing my train of thought. There are only two other Halo, there are only two other horror games I enjoy, Halo and Doom, and the other Doom games. And Doom 1, Doom 1, only episode 2 I'd say is horror, and for Halo, only half of the game is horror. Spoiler, by the way. Yeah, it's just fun to shoot things in Doom 3, Alright, the voice acting, fantastic. Maybe with not entirely though, there are a few exceptions, but, honestly, the quality of the voice acting, it reminds me of Halo's voice acting. That game has has some of, if not the best voice acting I've ever heard. All right, this kind of ties in. This next note kind of ties into the fails at being horror thing, but a lot of the scary stuff fails at being scary, but instead it's just hilarious to me. Mainly the zombie noises. When you damage them, they kind of groan. They didn't really do a good job of that. They just kind of recorded some dude groaning or something. It's hilarious. Then I've heard about this from that review I mentioned. The oh yeah, the once again, losing the train of thought. This is why I always prefer to stick to scripts. The ragdoll. Like, I've heard that later in the game, there you see some like bodies levitating and such. I've heard that the reason that's hilarious is because they added ragdoll physics to that, making it look like a Gmod animation or something. So yeah, I can't wait till I get to that point in the game. All right, the flashlight. This was from what I've heard, a pretty big controversy, and honestly, I can totally see why, Some people may prefer the flashlight from the normal version, which you just hold, doesn't have a battery, but then when you need to, however, it takes up a weapon slot, so then when you need to change to your shotgun, you kind of have to guesstimate. BFG Edition kind of compromises that with how it works more like how it does in Halo, with how it doesn't take up a weapon slot, and you can just turn it on whenever. However, it has a battery life, but that battery does recharge after a bit. However, I feel like this is a good compromise because it's not really in the center. It's too more so to the left of the screen, which probably isn't where you're aiming your gun and where the enemy is going to be. So, I'd say that's a fairly good compromise. Alright, a Doom 3 guy now. In some ways, I actually kind of prefer him over the regular Doom guy, as he's not really that, almighty demigod who can kill anything. He's kind of just like a very skilled marine who, runs out of energy and has to reload and such, I can see I feel like more people can, I feel like it's easier for me to see myself as him. Oh, alright, second to last know, this is a funny story of mine, on level 4 Alpha Labs, as I mentioned earlier, I believe there's a part really early on in which, or maybe near the end, I think it's near the end, actually, in which, like, you run into a scientist while in the air vents. You're in pretty tight corridors, however, So then, when I saw him, my brain immediately registered as a zombie-shaped thing, and shot him point blank with a shotgun. So then, I reloaded my save file 4 minutes before I killed him, to where I found out that just to listen to this dialogue, and also because, I don't really like to kill civilians, to where his dialogue revealed something also quite funny to me. He said that once he finished up his work, he was going to, like, head down to the main office or something like that, which implies that that he is completely oblivious to the horrors around him. I quite like that guy. Alright. Overall thoughts. I think it's quite good. Quite enjoy shooting things, voice acting, music, music just ambience. I'm quite enjoying it. Right, bye.